I'm out in the sun enjoying splitboarding, and today I want to compare these two cameras. There is one quite particular reason why I wanted the newest model, and I'll come back to that later in this video. First, I want to compare three things about these cameras. The first one is image quality. Is the increased sensor size providing a better image, or is it just noticeable for the pixel peepers? The second thing I want to compare is the field of view provided by these cameras. Does one provide a wider image than the other, or is it exactly the same? And the third thing is, the rumors online says that the Action 4 actually provides a more pleasing image straight out of the camera in standard settings. Is that true or not? Let's put it to the test and compare.
In this shot, I placed the camera side by side using the same settings that I've always preferred for my Action 4. That includes resolution of 4K, aspect ratio of 4:3 to fully utilize the image sensor, and lastly, D-Log-M as color setting for maximum dynamic range and flexibility in post. When we add the correction LUT, the difference in color science becomes apparent immediately. The Action 4 appears to have a purple or magenta and a slightly yellow color cast, whilst the Action 6 seems to skew more towards cyan. For these shots, I don't see any clear winner though, as the differences in colors are just a matter of personal opinion. However, when looking back at the introductory shots, I'd say I prefer the colors of the Action 4. It has less aggressive tone mapping and shadow recovery than the Action 6, and I think it's looking too bright in addition to the sky, which has a quite heavy teal cast to it. I think I need to do further checks on this later, as I'm surprised the algorithm in the Action 6 chooses to overexpose the skin in my face. When trying to color match the Action 4 to the Action 6, well, with my sort of limited abilities within color correction, there are also a few other differences that are noticeable. I think the sun flare on the 6 looks more pleasing than for the 4. Also, the skin tone on the Action 6 seems to pop a bit more than for the Action 4. When zooming in about 300%, it seems like the level of detail is about the same for both cameras.
Alright, let's go.
The close focus for the 6 is perhaps a tad better, meaning more of the shot close to the camera is still in focus.
Never been there before. The forest was quite dense here, so let's see how this goes.
Back in town, I did a couple of shots during the night to compare the low light capabilities. Right away, we can see the Action 6 provides a more detailed and simultaneously less noisy image than the Action 4. So far, I think this is the only comparison where we can see a real winner, but due to the heavily processed image in the introductory shots, I'm leaning somewhat towards the Action 4 for overall color science. The Action 6 is supposed to capture higher dynamic range due to larger sensor, but I'm starting to wonder whether that's somehow artificially applied in camera through tone mapping. It's also a matter of personal opinion whether you prefer the teal look coming out of the Action 6, but otherwise the differences are really about nitpicking. If we didn't put the camera side by side, I think most users wouldn't either notice or really care about the other differences. Or what do you think?
I'm now using the 16:9 ultra wide ratio. So I'll put the camera down and let's see if there's any difference in the width.
Whilst I admit that these cameras don't point in the exact same direction, we can quite easily use the trees and the branches in the background to compare the field of view. To me, it looks nearly identical between the two cameras, and this also holds true for the upcoming shots.
And the colors are now in standard. How do they compare? Which one looks the most natural to you? The sun is about to set. This kind of colors, they typically trigger this cartoonish kind of colors in action camera, so I'm interested to see how they compare in this mode.
Let's go back to the previous third-person shots again. What is going on with the sun on the right side? It looks like a shining cogwheel, and I can reveal that this is actually captured with the Action 6. I suspect it has something to do with the variable aperture, which is unique to this camera. Furthermore, the shadow recovery and look of the snow in the foreground makes this image looking overly HDR-like and indeed a bit cartoonish. I'm sure the reason for this kind of color science is to make it even more poppy, bright and, so to speak, appealing on phones, and I'll make a mobile-minded short to see if that's really the case. However, on big screens, I'm not the biggest fan of this look, to be honest. So to me, when using the cameras in standard color settings, I do agree the Action 4 is the clear winner unless used in dim lighted conditions. So, to summarize each of the tests, the image quality when using the best settings, meaning in D-Log-M, the Action 6 is the clear winner for low light conditions. But for daylight, I really need to do some more testing as the image from Action 6 can look a bit overprocessed in some scenes. Otherwise, it's really about personal taste. The width or the field of view seems to be the same for both cameras. When used in standard color settings, the Action 4 is the clear winner for me. So DJI, please keep the HDR look for a separate HDR shooting mode and keep the standard color setting looking more neutral. So, it almost sounds like I'm a bigger fan of the Action 4 than Action 6. So why did I say in the beginning of this video why I wanted to keep the Action 6?
So now I want to reveal the real reason why I wanted the Action 6, and that is it has a square sensor. What that actually means to you and me is flexibility in post when it comes to aspect ratio. So when you're out in the field, you can record with peace of mind without being stressed whether that footage only applies for horizontal or vertical videos. That's a huge benefit to me, and that's the main reason why I got the Action 6. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.